All right, welcome to the channel. As always, I'm Orosaurus Rex. Today is going to be a little bit different. We're usually all things video games, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get into the real world.
These graphics are incredible, man.
You might realize that I have a guest with me today, so I'm actually on location in Iowa at a nice shooting facility with Matt from the Phantom Llama's Den. Matt,
Welcome to Llama Ranch.
There we go. All right, well, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Matt has invited me out and has been gracious enough to let me fire a lot of his weapons. And from what I've learned, a lot of these are in some of the video games that I grew up with, or maybe games that you're playing today. So I want to go through a few highlights, show what some of the common weapons are, where you might see them. Matt's going to give some better details on either firing capability or the type of ammo in it. And then we'll do a few demos.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go from there. All right.
Get some more shooting in here. Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys after the Dancy Dinosaur and we'll get right into the first one.
Why is there a head here? Aaron, I thought you told you to clean this up.
Sorry, boss.
Where'd it go? All right, well, first up, we'll go with the most common semi-automatic rifle in the United States. The most common, this is the problem I've got. We'll start out with, arguably, in my opinion, one of the more boring rifles in my arsenal, the AR-15. And I say that because it is the most common semi-automatic rifle in the United States. In the world of video games, you'll see this in just about any modern warfare video game, whether it's Battlefield, Call of Duty, Gray Zone Warfare, if you're into that. It's chambered in 223 or 5.56 NATO. Very simple, very effective weapons platform. Mine is overly kitted out because I'm into the tactical world. Want to shoot it?
So, as you guys will quickly see, I am not an avid gun user. I play Call of Duty a lot. I play a lot of these games. And I want to see, maybe not how easy it is, but how much training have I done virtually? How much of that is going to apply now? Or am I about to get my butt kicked?
Oh, and just because this is not something that's done on Rex's channel very often, these are all YouTube compliant 28 round magazines or less. What do you think of this?
Honestly, it was, I'm not a gun person, so I really thought it was going to be a lot. Not so bad. I'm trying to catch my breath here because holding in, try to get to the site. Don't want to be all over the place. I thought it was awesome. It's got like a really cool smell to it too once you fire the gun. So
gunpowder smell is my aromatherapy.
Yeah, it's shockingly not the same as a video game. I liked it. That's all I gotta go back and say that. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a game. Understand a lot of the safety that needs to go around it. I like this one. I'm interested to go into our next round. Matt.
Well, we've got some more interesting stuff here.
All right.
All right, Mr. Assistant. Next up is sort of, kind of something that you'll see in video games. I say that because, okay, Krinkov, a Krink.
Is this an AK?
Yeah, it is an AK.
I thought that was a Kalashnikov. I do know some things.
This is an AK style firearm. This is a Zastava M92 AK pistol that has a stabilizing brace. This is not a stock, so this is a fully legal pistol, and it is more in the style of an AK-74, which is chambered in 5.45 by 39. However, this is chambered in the more well-known 7.62 by 39, which is what the AK-47 or the AKM or the SKS or the RPK shoot. But this is more of a Krinkov style firearm. I do have an AK rifle, but it is actually in the shop right now. Very unlike AKs, it is actually broken. Kind of like communism. I'm so sorry. May I recommend you use the foregrip at the front?
Yes,
there you go.
Oh my God, that's so much better. Hit something now.
Forgot how much fireball.
All right, so in most video games, whenever I have an AK, to me it seems to be a fully automatic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what you were telling me is that's not entirely accurate.
No, contrary to what a lot of people think, there's no such thing as a fully semi-automatic rifle. The vast majority of firearms in the United States are semi-automatic. You pull the trigger, one bullet is fired. It is very expensive and rather difficult to get a fully automatic rifle or firearm in the United States, at least legally. What do you think of that?
That one had a lot more firepower, I thought, than the AR that we did earlier.
It has
I
a
liked
lot
it 'cause
more
it was-
recoil.
It felt quicker.
Yeah.
Like for me to get readjusted, I thought it was a little bit easier.
So what do you want to shoot next?
Okay, so the next two that we're going to go into are some of my favorites that I played a lot. So I think, and let me try to say this right, the M1 Garand.
Correct.
So this is one that I know a little bit more that you'll see in some of the older World War I games. So Battlefield.
Nope.
Is M1 Garand not in
No.
Battlefield 1?
No.
Okay.
That was the 1903. Shame.
So one that I'm excited for is the M1 Garand. Now, I always thought that this rifle was part of the World War I series, Battlefield 1, and some older Call of Duty games, but Matt has just shamed me into believing correctly these are actually World War II weapons.
Yes.
Okay.
The M1 Garand, invented by Mr. Garand.
The Garand was created by a Garand?
Yes.
I'm sure there's a story behind this.
There is, and I am
Link
so
in the
tired
box
of
somewhere?
explaining it to people, so
I'll
we're
link
not.
I'll link to Matt's video.
The first video game that I ever played with an M1 Garand in it was Day of Defeat, a Half-Life mod. Set in World War II. Fantastic game. Very realistic for the time.
And I'm wondering if I'm confusing Battlefield 1 with Battlefield 1942?
1942, yes, okay. 1942, Battlefield 5. This is one of my favorite rifles, if not my favorite rifle of all time. It is such an icon. There's so much lore behind this. This is the rifle that won the war for the Americans. Oh, you would have gotten grand thumb if it had ridden forward.
It wasn't that bad.
Okay, so slap it.
Slap it to bass.
There you go.
All right.
That was not the prettiest slap, but
No, it wasn't.
nice.
Time.
There you go. It's a beautiful gun.
I like that one.
It's heavy, as people have commented that have never shot one before. It's heavy, it's front heavy, but it's a very solid rifle. Yes.
And I think you guys might have all heard the big ding at the end. That wasn't me hitting a shot, or maybe it was, but these bad boys would pop out all the time.
Yep, clink.
Clink, clink, clink.
That is the Garand Ping. All right, so this one, it's in video games, but
Why else might we know this very popular weapon?
this is the Benelli M4, an Italian classic, popularized by, I believe, Zombieland, which I have not seen.
But which movie
But-
have you seen that most people would know this?
John Wick 2.
An Italian classic.
That is a more tacked out Benelli M4 that costs a lot more from Terran Tactical. That means probably nothing to you. This is just straight from Benelli, the factory in Italy. I still have not converted it to the full-size 7-round tube. This is still just a 5+1. I'm just going to take one shot with it. These are 1-ounce slugs. Let's just say that if you don't ever want to get hit with one of these. You don't want to ever get shot
with anything, right?
No, you don't want to ever get shot by anything, but one of the most devastating rounds to be hit by would be a 1-ounce slug. It is very effective. It makes very large holes in things. You know, even though you didn't hit anything there, I love the sound of a slug going through the hair. That
That one has a little bit more feel.
Yep.
Right, we might have to cut that out, but right up in here.
in the military, in video games, you would see it as the M1014. It was one of the starter shotguns in Battlefield 3, I believe. All right, we have one more gun for you.
Yes. All right.
This is
the one that I'm most excited for.
Despite the name, it is not the Garand finale. That I owe my assistant for that joke. Bring this thing in.
So I'm going to start off. I was excited to shoot a RCP-90 as I know it from GoldenEye. Matt is going to correct me a little bit on this and say that is not the right weapon, but very similar.
This is a PS-90. This is the civilian legal version of a very popular firearm that's in a ton of video games, a ton of sci-fi shows. This is the civilian version of the P90. Whereas you were introduced to this gun by GoldenEye, I was introduced to this by Stargate SG-1. I've always loved the P90. It's in Counter-Strike. It's in every modern video game. It's been in futuristic games because it is a very futuristic gun.
It's a funky looking gun.
Now, one thing you'll notice, it has a rather long barrel, whereas the P90 stops at about there. That's because, again, it's civilian legal. To get a shorter barrel on here, you have to go through a lot of paperwork with the ATF. I'm working on that for myself, but it takes a lot of time because, well, it just takes time. We'll leave it at that. I will keep my opinions to myself. So here we have, you have not shot this. You were getting a little bit of an introduction to this last night, and you were like, how does this even work?
Yes.
Because YouTube compliant 25 round magazine. This is actually 25 rounds. It is limited. If you look in here, the bullets are perpendicular to how they'd fire. If you look, there's a feed ramp here.
Mm-hmm.
As you take one out, the spring pushes them forward and it rotates at 90 degrees.
Okay.
Then they drop down into battery and then they eject out the bottom. So this is actually a fully ambidextrous gun. This can be shot very easily right-handed or left-handed. So to charge it, you would just pull back on the charging handle either on the left-hand side or right-hand side, whether you're right-handed or wrong-handed. The safety switch is just in the trigger well. So we have two options, again, civilian legal. So it is on safe. We have a number 1 for semi-automatic. So we'll put that on there. I will turn on my red dot so I know what I'm doing. And we'll see how well this thing is zeroed. Not well at all. Here you go.
Got it.
So you just insert it through there, give a nice tap there, but you have to charge it. So put it back on safe. Oh, well, you just lost a round. Those are really expensive rounds, Rex. There you go. Did your hero live up to your expectations?
It did. I was still imagining the fully loaded or fully automatic fire, but for that not being real, I was very excited with this.
These make a lot more sense if you ever were able to shoot one fully automatic. They are very fast. You could go through one of their standard capacity 50 round magazines very quickly. It's a very, very effective personal defense weapon. Semi-automatic, it's less happy, but it's still a very cool weapon.
All right, that's gonna be the end for us. I wanna thank Matt from Phantom Llama's Den for inviting me out to his ranch.
Thanks for coming, man.
This has been amazing. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I think there might be a few videos that we cross-collaborate on. Matt has been in my video. I may or may not be in anything in the future.
You were kind of the mastermind behind a big subplot on our channel that's been going on like a slow burn.
We turned one little joke that I had into a lot of content that you've done with ballistic gels and gummy invasions, and so...
Just lore.
All right, well, that brings us to the end. Check out Matt and Phantom Llama's Den and all of their content if you like videos like this. If you still want to get back into video games, on the hunt, or actually playing the games themselves, like, subscribe, and I will see you there. Matt, anything you want to say?
No, again.
Your outro? I love your outro. How does that go again?
That's going to do it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, please consider hitting like and subscribe to More Sources Rex's channel. As always, don't take life too seriously and make it a great day.
Bye, guys.